At the start of the movie, we're introduced to two teenagers, Woody and Nell. The two are neighbors and childhood friends who also happen to go to the same school. However, they are not close to each other now and rarely communicate. One night, as Woody is dancing inside his room while playing loud music, an enraged Nell yells at him through her window to keep it low. She explains that she's trying to focus on her studies as their exams are around the corner. However, Woody, who likes annoying his neighbor, simply ignores her. When she continues on insisting, he offers her a deal. If she flashes him, he will turn off the music right now. This obviously angers Nell, and she decides to shut her window. But while doing so, her clothes get stuck in the window and tear off. Woody then manages to see her undressed, embarrassing her. Next, we get to know about the duo's family and lifestyle. Woody is from a middle-class family and is a popular athlete at school. However, his grades are non-existent, and his parents are just happy that he's attending high school. They believe that he will look after the family store soon. On the contrary, Nell is an intelligent student who aspires to go to a big university after high school. Her parents also have high hopes for her, and they believe that she will become a lawyer in the future. But unlike Woody, she is an awkward girl who lacks social skills. This has made her an outcast in school, and she has little to no friends. We also get to know that the two hate each other a lot and often get into disputes. On a usual day, Woody is picked up by his friend Horse, but Nell gets late and misses her school bus. As a result, she's forced to walk all by herself. On the way, Woody notices her and drives his friend's car past her, soaking her wet. This makes her a laughingstock as her hair gets puffed like popcorn. When Nell finally arrives at school, she decides to confront Woody. However, she changes her mind as she doesn't want to waste her time with Woody and his arrogant girlfriend, Brianna. In the classroom, Woody secretly types obscene things in Nell's computer, which makes a loud noise and causes everyone in class to laugh at her. In the next scene, the whole class goes on a field trip to a museum of Mexican culture where they have to do an activity in pairs. In order for Woody to pay attention, the teacher forces him to be with Nell, and like always, the two end up fighting. However, this time, they start fighting in front of an ancient statue, which is supposedly the god of magic. As they argue, the mysterious statue quietly casts a spell upon them. At night, while they're sleeping, the spell starts working, and when they wake up, they find themselves trapped in each other's bodies. Here, they start facing difficulties of being the opposite gender, such as having morning wood or having to eat a completely different meal. This scares the both of them, and when they meet at school, they immediately start blaming each other for the mess. However, they eventually agree to play it cool until their bodies are reversed back again. Initially, both of them succeed, but soon they start arguing again as they feel like the other is misrepresenting their body. For instance, Woody answers the teacher's question in a very odd manner, and Nell drops the food in the cafeteria. Moreover, Nell performs very badly in the football practice, prompting the coach to scold her. The next day, the bodies are still swapped and they haven't reverted to their original form. Nell comes to school in formal clothes, and this enrages Woody as he thinks he looks like a dork. To make matters worse, he finds out about the failed football practice from the previous day and gets angrier at Nell. In retaliation, he dresses up in extremely provocative clothing the next day and does everything to damage her reputation. Seeing this, Nell gets enraged and breaks up with Woody's girlfriend, Brianna. The defamation game continues as Woody drives off with a biker boy named Nicky to have sex with him. This devastates Nell, as she had always been saving that moment for a person she really loves. Fortunately, Woody backs out at the last moment, as he feels weird that a man is going to make love to him. However, Nicky becomes resentful and soon spreads false rumors all over the school about how he did it with Nell. This makes Nell break down in tears. In the next scene, the duo meet each other at the school corridor, and Woody admits that he didn't actually take Nell's virginity, and that all the rumors are fake. Despite this, Nell is still upset, so Woody decides to confront Nicky and teach him a lesson. He heads to the basketball court where Nicky is practicing and tries to punch him, but doesn't count on the fact that he no longer has his physical strength because he has changed his body. Right then, Nell arrives, punches him in the face, and forces him to reveal the whole truth in front of everyone. Later, the two start to reconcile, but Woody is still worried as his football match is going to be held soon. As they try to recall how their body switch took place, they suddenly realize that they fought right in front of the statue of the ancient god of sorcery. In the next scene, the duo returns to the museum and confronts the statue. Nell tries her best to negotiate with the statue in order to get their bodies back, but fails. Following this, they come to terms with the fact that they have to help each other in two upcoming important events. Nell has to practice for Woody's upcoming football match, whereas Woody has to study hard for Nell's upcoming Yale interview. Since one is strong and the other is intelligent, they assume that with time and practice, they can pass their respective tests. At night, Nell starts drinking at a party with Horse, while Woody goes to a slumber party with Nell's best friends. There, he hears trash talk about himself and gets enraged. Soon, the girls force him to get a Brazilian bikini wax, and Woody suffers excruciating pain through the whole ordeal. The next morning, Woody approaches Nell, who is still hammered from last night's excessive drinking. He takes care of her, and soon they start becoming close to one another. In this way, they also start understanding each other better and try their best to pass the tests for their other half. The night before the decisive tests, the duo agrees to go to the school party together, but not as dates. That same night at dinner, they both chat with their families, and Nell learns that their parents were good friends before. However, they had to stop talking because of her mother, who didn't want them hanging out with lowly people. Moreover, Nell learns that Woody's parents are very kind and genuine people who care about their son a lot. On the other hand, Woody learns that Nell's entire family, including her, thinks that his family is stupid. Enraged, he rushes out of the house and goes to practice football alone. Later, Nell tries to reach out to Woody to help him in studies, but can't find him at her house. Hence, she decides to look for him. She eventually finds him practicing alone, but an angry Woody lashes out at her, saying that he knows what she thinks of him. The two again get into an argument, but they decide to sort out their differences for the sake of their decisive tests. The next day, Woody arrives in Nell's body for her interview at Yale. When the dean asks him about poetry, he starts stuttering and makes a mess of his answer. However, he soon starts talking about his passion for the modern-day poets, rappers. Hearing this, the dean is impressed and astonished by this young woman's passion for something she describes as a modern-day art form. Later that night, Woody arrives at the match and sits next to his parents. Things don't go according to plan initially as the opposing team keeps on knocking Nell down again and again. After some time, Nell eventually starts getting the hang of things and helps her team get more points. This helps her earn praise from everyone, including Woody's parents. However, the resurgence is still not enough as they're trailing the opposition by a tiny margin. With time running out, Nell uses all her strength and scores the last point, eventually crowning her team as winners. After the game, a college recruiter who witnessed Nell's incredible performance offers her a future with his team. Later, the duo meets each other and expresses their joy at the insane experience they just had. They also agree that if they had to be trapped in someone else's body, they'd be honored to be one another. Just then, the mystic statue starts performing a spell once again, and Woody and Nell finally have their bodies back. Soon, Woody is carried away by his team and Nell walks in on him and Brianna kissing. Upset, she storms out of the place. In the next scene, Woody tries to speak with Nell, but her mother refuses to let him in, calling him uneducated. Inside, Nell receives a letter of acceptance from Yale University, but she's still upset about the event from the previous day. Hence, she decides against going to the school party. Right then, Her father walks in, and the two have a conversation about Woody. Nell reveals that she is in love with Woody, and her father encourages her to go to the school party. Being the good dad that he is, he even surprises her with a beautiful dress and shoes for the party. On the other hand, Woody has reconciled with Brianna, but it is evident that he is not interested. Soon, they're selected as king and queen, and as they're about to dance, Woody notices Nell in her beautiful dress. He is infatuated by her beauty and cannot stop staring at her. Wasting no time, he approaches her, and the duo confess their love for one another. After this, they leave the school and start making out right next to their houses. Both their fathers can be seen proud and cheering for them together. The following day, Nell confronts her mother and informs her that she will be taking a sabbatical for a year before attending her new university. Her mother is angry at the decision, but she has no other choice but to accept Nell's decision. The movie ends as Nell happily climbs onto Woody's car and the couple drive away.